Hello and welcome to C3STREAM Land. So today we are going to talk about why we have a number line, or why we have x-axis and y-axis, why we have to learn those, and what are integer numbers. So to start with the number line, before we start, I have a question for you all. If I put this small circle anywhere on the table, and if I ask you where is this circle, how will you position it? One way some people might do it is that they will say, okay, maybe this is upper half of the table and little bit towards the right side is my coin. If I put it somewhere here, then the position is approximate. I can say it is an upper half of the table and a little bit to the left. But what if I move it a little bit over here? I can still say that it is on upper half and a little bit to the left. What is the difference between this and this position then? So it becomes really hard to put the position, place or find the accurate position when we have a graph and no means to measure it. That's why we put up a coordinate system. That means we divide this, we consider this table as one flat plane and we divide it in by using some lines. And how do we use those lines? We put up one line that goes, it starts from down and goes all the way up the table, and let's assume that this is a straight line, something like that. So this line divides plane in left and right hand side. Now if I put a coin, I can say for sure that this is on the right hand side and this is on the left hand side. It might be opposite for you in the screen, but for me this one is right and this is left. Now I put one line across the table and this divides my table in top and bottom. So I can say that above this line and below this line, and the point where these two lines meet, I call it origin. So this is my origin, this is my center. So now if I have to put up a coin anywhere, I can just say that it is up on the right hand side and in the upper part of the table, but I still cannot position it accurately. In order to do that, we put up numbers. So I'll just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on the left hand side, because this is 0, this is a 0 position, so I will again write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Similar thing I can do for the line that is going vertical, right? So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This way. Now that we have put numbers over here, now if I place a coin anywhere, I can simply map the position. So I might need, let me try and do it with 2 sketch pens. So I can just try to see how many units it is from the horizontal line, so 3 units, and how many units it is from the vertical line, so it is 4 units. So somewhere I can say that 3 units from horizontal line and 4 units from vertical line, and that's the distance where exactly my coin is placed. I have become a long way since putting a coin on a blank table, but now the confusion is, if I put a coin here, it is still 3 units and 4 units away, but as you can see it is not the exact same position. I will put an older position by another coin. As you can see, both the coins are in different position, but then the coordinates are different. In order to solve this confusion, we have to have few rules. So what are those rules? We need to, first of all, from the point of origin, we have to decide what we are going to call the numbers if we move in the opposite direction. As you can see, both sides it is 1. So if I have to say, okay, go 2 units on the horizontal line, should I go 2 units this side or should I go 2 units this side? So I need to be specific in my instructions. So if I say go 2 units left, then I know for sure that I am not supposed to go here because this is right side for me. So I go 2 units left, and that's the exact position where I am supposed to be. But then how would I say it in mathematical language? For that, we use terms like negative and positive, and that's what make numbers integers. So this becomes -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on. And this means that on the left hand side from 0. And these numbers by default are positive. So we can say +1, +2, but we can write those numbers as it is. Similarly, for going up and down on the y-axis, so this axis we call it x-axis, and the axis which goes up and down we call it a y-axis. These are just names. You can call it any axis. Horizontal axis, vertical axis is also correct. So if the numbers are going above from 0 towards to y-axis, they are considered positive. That means the numbers above the 0, and numbers below 0 are considered negative. That means they are placed below 0. Now if I have to position it, and another rule that we need to follow when we are putting the coordinate system is, we always figure out what is the coordinate on horizontal axis first. That means x-axis, and then we write what is the coordinate on y-axis. So for example, earlier let's put this. Now in this case, if I have to put coordinate for this, I'll just take a sticky note. If I have to put the coordinate for this, so first I will, from origin, I will figure out how many units left I have to do. So 1, 2, 3. Since I am going left, I will say the coordinate for this point, x coordinate. So first I am going to write x coordinate, then I am going to write y coordinate. So my x coordinate for this point is -3. And then how many units up? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units up. So that, and it is up, so the number is going to be positive. So the coordinate for this point are -3 and 4. Now for this point, again we will figure out x coordinate first. So x coordinate is 4 units, but 4 units to the right hand side of 0. So it is +4. And I need to go 1, 2, 3 units up. And since I am going up, the coordinate is positive. If you see, now I have exact positioning for these two points. One position is -3 and 4, and one position is +4 and 3, and they are clearly distinguished and there is no confusion anymore. Now to define just the positioning, every time when I put horizontal and vertical line across any plane, these two lines divide the plane in 4 quadrants. So this by default is my first quadrant. This is my second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. We need to remember a few things about the quadrants. Okay. In first quadrant, my x-axis and y-axis coordinate both are positive. So I'll write the way they are. So x-axis and y-axis coordinate are x and y. When I go to second quadrant, as you can see, all the numbers on x-axis are negative. So my x-axis coordinate is -x and y-axis coordinate is still positive. So my y-axis is positive. For my third quadrant, as you can see, x-axis coordinates are negative. So I will always have a negative sign for the number on the x-axis. And as you can see in this case, even y-axis has a negative number. So y coordinate will also be negative. And for the fourth quadrant, as you can guess, the x-axis coordinate here are all positive numbers. So x is positive, but y is still negative. So negative y. Yes, so this is my fourth quadrant. First, second, third. And this is a very important exercise to practice. We need to be clear about all the quadrants, what coordinates they have, and how we can figure out the positioning of any object that is placed on this plane. So in the next video we will talk about arithmetic operations of integers, and we will make one more video where we will talk about understanding the graph and coordinate system, what are the practical applications or where they can be used. Thank you. Keep exploring.